everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm jaymejo and today I'm filming such a requested video. Today's video is all about how to get your curls to be super defined and volumized at the roots. I find that a lot of curly girls really struggle and have that kind of flat hair and then the curl starts from around here. So today's video I'm just going to be chatting you through my routine to make sure I've got volumized and defined roots to really enhance the volume and overall shape of my curls. I want to point out that my hair is quite long at the moment for curly hair, so sometimes I struggle to keep that volume because it's long. It kind of drags it out a little bit, but I feel like this routine is so good, and if it works for hair this long, I'm sure it will work for yours. In this video I'm going to be demonstrating my styling routine, but I'm just going to talk through what I do in the shower to ensure that I'm allowing my roots to flourish and be volumized and defined. Step one for having defined and volumized roots is to make sure that you're really cleansing your scalp properly. Typically people with curly hair will only be washing their hair around one time a week, maybe 1 to 2 times a week. There's no issue with this. The only issue is sometimes if you're refreshing your hair and adding more product into your hair, the product can really build up, and this causes your hair to actually deflate and become really heavy, particularly at the roots. So I really highly suggest cleansing your scalp extremely well. Personally, because I'm a dancer and I kind of work out a few times a week, I wash my hair mostly 2 times a week. So once I will just use a normal shampoo, and then the next time I'll use something to really clarify my hair and get rid of all the product buildup. My particular product of choice is the Christoph Robin Sea Salt Scrub. It is incredible. What I really like about this is it gets everything off my hair, and it's just such a good treatment to really revitalize your scalp. I feel like scalp care is so important. For step number 2, this is actually part of step number 1, clarifying your hair. It is to use a scalp massager. Scalp massagers are not talked about enough, and they are incredible. Ever since I started using one, I have found that my hair has been growing like crazy. Basically, you hold it like this, and when you have the shampoo or clarifying product in your hair, you use it instead of your fingers to scrub that product into your scalp. What this is going to do is really lift off all that product buildup that you will have, and it will really stimulate your scalp as well, which in turn helps hair growth. So it's such an important thing. Once I got my first scalp massager, I've literally never looked back. I hate shampooing my hair without it. It is such an amazing addition, and it's going to be your best friend. So get your hands on a scalp massager. Moving on to step number 3, this has to do with conditioning your hair in the shower. I'm not sure if this is a well-known thing or not. I hope it's well-known, but make sure that you are not saturating your scalp with conditioner. There is honestly no need to do this. It's okay to add a little bit of conditioner to that area to make sure it's not dry, but I do not recommend saturating your scalp with the conditioner. Focus a small amount on the roots and scalp. For the rest, you can really saturate your ends and the lengths of your hair to make sure it's really smooth and it's easy to detangle, but there's no reason to be saturating your scalp with conditioner in the shower. This will add to the heaviness of your hair. It will weigh it down, and then it will just deflate the roots. So don't do that. Just avoid conditioning your scalp really heavily. So for the remainder of this tutorial, I'm going to hop into a little voiceover for my styling routine. I go super in detail on how to get those roots really nice and volumized, and I'll continue on with the steps there. So everybody, this is my hair out of the shower, and as you can see, I already have pretty volumized roots because of the steps that we took. Now for my step number 4, I'm going to re-wet my hair and also just part it and brush it out to ensure that there are no knots. I like to wet my hair before styling to make sure that the product is really seeping in well, and this also helps to avoid as much frizz as possible. For step number 5, I'm going to be using a lightweight leave-in conditioner. This is the Hask Curl Care 5-in-1 leave-in spray. It is amazing and super lightweight, so it's not going to weigh your hair down at all, but it's just going to moisturize it and just keep it tangle-free. I like to rake this away from my scalp. Never lay product flat on your hair because this will cause flat roots, but if you're raking away, it's going to just add a little bit of volume to that area, as you can already see. And by raking, you will also make sure that it is evenly distributed. For step number 6, you can now go in with a slightly heavier cream. I'm using the Olaplex number 3, but I would recommend using number 6 instead. I really love this product from Olaplex because it gives my hair so much bounce and it really helps the curls to thrive. I'm going to apply this in a similar way by just raking it through, again, away from my head to ensure that there's going to be volume and my curls won't stick to my scalp. And for an added step here, I'm going to just shake my roots out a little bit with a bit of that product on my hand to really get the roots off the scalp and help them be as volumized as possible. For For step number 7, I'm going to be using my DENMAN brush technique, and what this does is really help to define and enhance the curls. I've got a full video on this if that helps. What you want to do is brush the curls away from your scalp again and curl it on the way down. And then personally, I like to jiggle this section of the curls to help it naturally form. It's going to create really nice curl clumps, and then you can just give it a little scrunch at the root as well to help the curl form all the way from the top. I'm going to repeat this over my whole head, and it just really helps to define those curls from the roots to the tips. For step number 8, I'm going to give my scalp a little bit of a massage after I've used the DENMAN brush. This is just going to really help the curls to pop all the way from the roots and give you that volume. As you can see, there's a massive difference on both sides. Now I'm going to continue the DENMAN brush technique on the rest of my head. And for a little side tip, make sure you're really focusing on the crown and the back of your head. Brush this all the way up and away so it's not flat, which it always tends to be, and just give it a little bit of extra love and attention so that your curls really look great at the back. For step number 9, I'm going to be using a stronghold mousse. This is the Bumble & Bumble BB Curl Mousse, and it is so great at really giving my curls so much volume and hold, and a long lasting hold as well, which is super important. So I'm going to be flipping my head over and applying this thoroughly everywhere. Don't be shy with the mousse, it doesn't make it heavier, which is great. So you just really want to scrunch this all the way through your hair and all the way up into the roots as well to give them that pop and make sure that they are curling all the way from the top. Continue to scrunch to really enhance that curl pattern, and you'll see such a big difference in volume. Now, as you can see, even wet, my hair looks really nicely volumized from the roots, and you can see a lot of curls forming all the way from the top, which is such a great indication that your hair is going to turn out really well. Now hopping into step number 10, which is diffusing. Diffusing over air drying is always going to give you more volume and more pop at the roots. Now, I'm not being shy and I'm focusing the diffusing directly on the roots because your roots take a lot longer to dry than the ends of your hair. So really give it a lot of time and attention to make sure that it is going to be super volumized and curly. Now, this is my roots about 30% dry, so they're looking really good. Just continue going and make sure your hair is basically 100% dry before you do anything else. Now, diffusing takes a little bit of patience, but it's going to give you the best end result in my opinion. And this is my hair 100% dry, but we're not finished yet. What you want to do to just get a little bit more volume in those beautifully defined curls is start to scrunch out the cast that the mousse has caused over your hair. This is going to just loosen up your curls, keep them nice and frizz-free, but just give them a little bit more movement and volume. Now for the last step, which is probably my most favorite, it is to shake out the curls from the roots and from the tops of your hair. This is going to create so much more volume and just separate the curls a little bit so it looks fuller. It is not going to cause frizz if you do it correctly and you go from underneath your hair, but as you can see, I'm a bit aggressive with it just to shake up the curls and get them off my scalp, which in turn is going to just give that effect of fuller curls all the way from the very roots of your hair. So everybody, this is the end result of today's routine and all my tips and tricks to keeping your scalp and your roots, I should say, really nice and defined and curly and volumized. This is my favorite sort of routine because I love when I have volume for my curly hair. I don't like it to look flat at all. So I completely feel you and understand you. Everybody wants that really nice shape all the way from the tips of their roots to the ends of their hair. I'm just going to give you a little close up so you can see everything. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Please make sure you subscribe if you like this content and stay tuned for more curly hair videos. Let me know how this routine has worked for you guys, and I love you. Bye. I'll see you soon.